Central on My Network TV.
Next on Eyewitness News.
Crescent City connection tolls are set to expire at year's end, but a task force is recommending they continue. I'm Scott Satchfield. Coming up tonight, people on both sides of this emotional issue got a chance to speak out.
The Department of Justice is suing St. Bernard Parish for discrimination over the housing situation there since Hurricane Katrina.
On Jim Henderson's last day as sports director, we take a look back at his 34 years at Channel 4.
And one Louisiana family is making waves about an otter they rescued, but it was taken away after they brought it for help when it appeared sick.
From WWL-TV, the spirit of Louisiana, this is Louisiana's news leader with Eyewitness News at 9 on Channel 54.
Tonight with breaking news out of New Orleans East.
That's where police are investigating a murder. It happened just after 7:30 tonight in the 14,700 block of Chef Highway.
Police say they found a man shot dead inside of a vehicle. Investigators have not identified the victim or released any information about a possible suspect or motive in this case. If you can help investigators, call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. Now to an ongoing issue involving millions of dollars in tolls.
Tonight, residents had another chance to sound off on the potential end of paying to cross the Crescent City connection.
Scott Satchfield was there as they voiced their concerns. He joins us live now from Marrero with more. Scott?
Well, it's certainly an emotional topic, and tonight residents, mostly of the West Bank, and of course members of that task force that is now recommending renewal of the tolls, got a chance to hear from one another. Tolls are set to expire at the end of this year, but this task force believes they're still needed to maintain and operate the bridge and the ferries. Tonight, a majority of residents in the room here at West Jeff Medical Center disagreed, as did State Representative Pat Connick and one member of the task force. They say toll money has been misused for years, and they believe the bridge and ferries can be operated successfully using other funding sources.
They have to go, and we're not second-class citizens. You know, we pay our taxes, and we want the same benefits like everybody else in the state. For years, we've given over $400 million in extra money on these tolls, and it's been wasted for the most part. It's been misspent, mismanaged.
I think a piece of it also is making sure that we get on the West Bank, we get our fair share of what the state's paying for everybody else. I think that's the key point.
The amount that is available is about $4.6 million. You just can't do that. You just can't finish. You get the projects done. You can't operate without that little amount of money. You get to a situation where you just don't have enough money to do the things that are mandated by the legislature for the CCD to do.
And that last gentleman you heard from is one member of the task force who believes that the ferry tolls, or the Crescent City connection tolls should be renewed. Again, all members but one believe that. Now, one other person tonight who spoke out who believes they should be ended is State Treasurer John Kennedy. He said out of every $1 in tolls collected, only 19 cents goes to actually operating the bridge, while 16 cents goes to actually collecting the tolls. So he says it's wasteful, and he hopes to see them ended as well. For now, reporting live from the West Bank, Scott Satchfield, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
Interesting breakdown. Thank you, Scott.
The U.S. Department of Justice has sued the St. Bernard Parish government for allegedly limiting rental housing for African Americans after Hurricane Katrina. The lawsuit claims that St. Bernard Parish repeatedly tried to block development of affordable apartment complexes. It also set up a difficult approval process for single-family rentals and eliminated multifamily housing across much of the parish. Parish President David Peralta has not commented on the lawsuit, which involves ordinances and zoning regulations enacted under previous administrations.
The largest parcel of land in Harahan is now just that, a parcel of land, as today, after 84 years, Colonial Country Club closed its doors. Today was the final day for members to get out and enjoy a round of golf at the club. Colonial is more than $7 million in debt, and next month will be put up for public auction. All plans in previous years, from a high-rise condo project to selling off a portion of the land for commercial property to pay off the debt, failed to win support. So now the club is closed and its future is up in the air.
Can we afford to lose this ground, all of this green space, unless we have a pumping station sitting around up here someplace? I live about a mile away. I don't want water in my front yard.
Just so many things, the luxuries that people once, looked at golf as a luxury, and they've cut their budgets back so far that it's a shame that this place has to fail.
Members say it's scheduled to go to public auction on February 22nd.
This is the end of an era for us here at Channel 4, but the start of a great new chapter for sports director Jim Henderson as he retires after 34 years.
The greatest. Today we're looking back on some of his greatest moments and memorable stories, including this one from Saints Camp back in 1990 on an athlete who was living life in the fast lane.
Most pro football players make big money. Most pro football players drive expensive, flashy cars. But occasionally you run across a rugged individualist who's not afraid to be different. Stan Brock is such a man. He and a select circle of trend-bucking teammates prefer the rental comfort and convenience of a 1978 Pontiac Bonneville. It's a car that makes a statement, and much to their delight, they were able to rent it for a second straight lacrosse summer. What a surprise that it was still available a whole year later.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, at a dealership, you'd think something like this would go in a hurry. Tires are good.
Nice.
Yeah.
4 of them?
Yeah, there's all 4 of them are there. Keep peeling.
That's the bumper. This is to protect you, I guess, huh?
Yes, in case of an accident.
In case of an accident.
Yeah. No mirrors, so you don't have to worry about anything behind you.
What happened to the windshield?
That was an accidental thing the other night. We're not really sure what happened. We just came out and we're not sure.
This really isn't so much a car as it is a driving machine.
Machine is a good word for it. I think that'd be how I would describe it if I was going to sell it. The ultimate driving machine. Come on, I'll show you how she runs. Clean some of this stuff up for you. Why it doesn't sell, I don't know. Whoops. Plug box open finally. It's got tilt wheel, blinker. See the cruise control? It works. You can actually take it off and use it anywhere you want it. I like to just come up and compare shop. It's really not that much difference between like this car and that Cadillac.
Thanks. No problem. Real treat.
Let the others have their expensive toys, their gleaming status symbols. Stan Brock has a late model, one owner, used car. And for him, that's enough.
72.
Right now on our website, you can find many more of Jim's greatest moments, and you can share your comments about your favorites. Tonight on Channel 4, we'll have more of his great career and his final sportscast tonight at 10 on Channel 4.
I went on the website earlier. I love my favorite, the bloopers.
The bloopers are
From back in the day.
Yeah.
Funny. All right, one local family claims it was an otter like no other.
But wildlife officials say it must go. Still ahead, why one family is frustrated by the response they got after they took the otter they befriended in for help when he got sick.
And Republican candidate Mitt Romney wins big in Florida. Hear his message to supporters after one of the largest primaries yet.
Primary does not divide us.
Closed captioning of this Eyewitness newscast is sponsored by Cox.
Cox Super Savings Tip number 1. The best way to save a bundle? The Cox Bundle. Get Cox high-speed internet, Cox digital telephone, and Cox TV. All for just $25 each. Plus, get free installation. That's savings you can count on. So call, click, or come by today. The best deals are also online. When you need to get more and spend less, we're there.
This is Stan. Stan's responsible for the new rate cuts at Safe Auto. Rate cuts so deep, up to 25%, people are beginning to take notice. If only they weren't so shy about showing Stan how much they appreciate it. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. State minimum coverage. Savings of up to 25%.
Bank robbery certainly is a frightening crime. After all, bank robbers stole $43 million in 1 year. But identity thieves? Try $37 billion. And guess how identity thieves are getting some of that money? By taking over our bank accounts. They may not even need your social security number anymore. All an identity thief may need are a couple simple pieces of information, like your mother's maiden name or the city you were born in. And they could add their name onto your bank accounts in order to make your money their money. You need help. You need LifeLock, the only identity theft protection company that now monitors bank accounts for takeover fraud. LifeLock is the proactive identity theft protection company, constantly searching for new ways to protect our members against identity thieves before the damage is done. LifeLock has the most comprehensive identity theft protection available. No one can stop all identity theft. That's why LifeLock offers you peace of mind. And you get our $1 million total service guarantee.
Having your identity stolen feels like you've been totally violated. You go around looking over your shoulder. It's almost as if someone has broken into your home.
Don't spend another day without LifeLock. Call now. Try LifeLock service risk-free for 60 days. LifeLock is the only identity theft protection company that now monitors bank accounts for takeover fraud. No other company provides more comprehensive identity theft protection than LifeLock. If you're not convinced within 60 days, simply notify LifeLock and you won't pay. And to keep your documents out of the wrong hands, we'll even add this personal shredder, a $29 value, absolutely free with your enrollment. Don't wait another minute. Call now, 1-800-308-6953. Promo code 60SHRED. That's 1-800-308-6953. Service guarantee cannot be offered to residents of New York.
The Homa family says they're not happy with the way the Audubon Zoo handled an otter they brought in for help.
They nicknamed the friendly animal Chip, and the family turned to the zoo after his health took a turn for the worse. As Tanya Dahl explains, now they want him back.
He would like run up, play, you know, come try to dry off on you, look around, like, you know, it was almost trying to play tag with you.
Playful, goofy, and all-out crazy. That's how Teddy Chasson and his wife Katina described the otter they spent weeks nursing back to health.
When we found him, he was about yay big and fit in both my hands, and his legs were hurt in the back. He would just kind of scoot a little bit.
3 months later, the otter was introduced back into the wild, which happens to be this Homa family's backyard. At least 100 acres in Bayou Grand Caillou.
We would take the fish and throw it in the bayou and show him, look, this is where you got to go. Well, he started getting good, and he'd catch crab, and he started actually catching fish.
He'd chirp at the back door and, you know, like, let me in, let me in, let me in, and he wouldn't stop till you open the door and give him some attention.
The family says Chip showed up sick one day, forcing Teddy to drive the otter to the Audubon Zoo for treatment. The family expected he'd come back home, but he's still at the zoo.
We tried seeing what we can do to see him, you know, to get him back with us, and, you know, the zoo pretty much point blank told us, you know, you dropped off the animal, you didn't want him, you know, you just threw him away pretty much, which is definitely not the case.
Zoo officials in the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries maintain returning Chip to the bayou would be against state law.
The Chessons, and certainly in a Good Samaritan role, did the right thing by bringing that animal to an institution that could care for that animal, but they cannot, in fact, repossess that animal since they're not permitted to keep live wild animals.
It's not to say he's ours, because we're more like his.
This heartbroken Terrebonne Parish family disagrees and says Chip needs to come home.
I just want him to live free, you know. It's where he belongs. It's a good place for him.
The Chasson family says they've made attempts to apply for a rehabilitator permit, but have been unsuccessful. A zoo spokeswoman says because Chip is domesticated, the plan, at least for now, is to send him to an accredited facility where wildlife professionals can introduce him to other otters.
Something tells me this story isn't over yet. There's a Facebook page?
There's a Facebook page. People are saying free Chip. So a lot of people are getting heated. Some people say the otter should stay with wildlife officials. Other people say let him back into the bayou.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of feel sorry for that family, though.
All
Thanks,
right,
Tanya.
thank you, Tanya.
CBS News is projecting that Mitt Romney will win the Florida primary.
As Danielle Nottingham reports, some voters ended up with a bitter taste in their mouth after all the negative campaigning.
Mitt Romney now has 2 states under his belt and new momentum in his bid for the White House. CBS News projects he is the winner of the Florida primary and all 50 of that state's delegates.
A competitive primary does not divide us, it prepares us, and we will win.
It's Romney's second win and the largest delegate haul so far in the 2012 campaign. But it was an expensive campaign. Romney and his supporters spent more than $14 million on TV ads.
If you're attacked, I'm not going to just sit back. I'm going to fight back and fight back hard.
A loss in Florida would be a quick about-face for Gingrich, who led in the polls here after winning South Carolina just 10 days ago. He says no matter how he finishes, he will continue his campaign.
How close is this to being over, Mr. Speaker? I would say probably 6 months. 6 months? Yes, I'd say June or July. Mr. Speaker. Unless Romney drops out earlier.
Voters said the economy was by far the most important issue in this race. According to exit polls, half of those who responded said foreclosures were a major problem in their area. Recent debates were also a factor in their decisions. 2/3 said they helped to make up their minds. About a third of voters faulted Romney, and about a third faulted Gingrich for running the most unfair campaign. Rick Santorum and Ron Paul effectively ceded Florida to campaign in other states and are promising to fight on. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Tampa, Florida.
And when asked which candidate ran the most unfair campaign, voters were almost evenly split between Romney and Gingrich.
After several extensions, the rental assistance program for thousands of families displaced by Hurricanes Ike and Gustav is ending, but there is an alternative for those who still need help. Nearly 20,000 families were displaced by Hurricanes Ike and Gustav 5 years ago. HUD and FEMA extended the program several times to give families an opportunity to find stable housing. To help some of the 3,500 families still receiving help, HUD and FEMA are converting them to a new program that will provide interim rental payments for up to 2 months.
A very impressive piece of our 100-year storm protection is now in place. The Army Corps of Engineers installed a 50-foot gate at the Seabrook Bridge. The Corps says it'll only be closed if a storm surge threatens the area. It's part of the permanent protection to keep flooding out of New Orleans east, the 9th Ward, and St. Bernard Parish.
As for the weather, we have some rain moving in, huh?
Yeah, a chance of rain overnight, and especially tomorrow from mid-morning through the early afternoon, I think, is the highest time period. So we may see some rain to start off February, as January ended about over 3 inches below average. So we're going to look for some rain, it looks like, for the first day of February. As you look at our morning low temperatures, again, temperatures running above average for this time of year. 60 degrees was the morning low at Armstrong International. Our normal high is 63, so we weren't far from that for our low temperature this morning. The afternoon high temperatures well into the 70s, mid-70s across the region, with Grand Isle and Boothville, the lower high temperatures closer to the Gulf waters at 67 degrees, at 69. As we look outside, we'll show you what's happening with WeatherLink 4. You can see Franklinton at 65, Bowling Green School, Chalmette High School at 63, 67 at St. Joseph's Catholic Elementary in Thibodaux, and look up towards the Super Bowl country, Indianapolis at 54. Remember last year, the Super Bowl weather in Dallas was nasty with ice and cold weather. Well, it's been very mild for this time of year up in Indianapolis. Of course, the game is inside, but outside it's not that bad. Temperatures only in the 50s. Other places, we'll show you what's happening at Armstrong International, mostly cloudy. It's 68 degrees, 66 at Audubon, and you can see 65 in Slidell. The relative humidity, 84%. Dew point high at 63, southeast wind at 8, and a high barometer and holding steady. Well, we had a few area. A little light rain fell around the Slidell area, some just west of Lake Pontchartrain. You can see not much else going on out there this evening, but there's rain to the west and rain to the south. All this activity is expected to move into our area during the morning hours for Wednesday. So as we look at our forecast maps, you can see by tomorrow morning, rain and showers, could even be some thunderstorms just to our west by the morning commute time. So 30% chance for the morning commute, but by mid-morning, that rain could be into our area. So from 9 o'clock on, I think the chance for showers and thunderstorms will be at least 60%. Could even have some heavy downpours in all of that through the noontime hour. And then by 3 o'clock, we'll start to see that rain still around the area, but maybe more to our north. And then into the early evening hours, I think that rain chance will begin to start to diminish as we head towards the evening hours. And then by Thursday, Groundhog Day, only a 20% chance for rain throughout the course of the day from morning through the afternoon hours. showers, still in the 70s for high temperatures. Then on Friday, we'll see some light fog around the morning again, and then rain chance could increase to over 40% with this system moving through our area. Breezy conditions. This front will increase the chance of rain on Saturday to 50% for showers and thunderstorms. Overnight into Wednesday morning, low to mid-60s. Some spotty showers will be developing. Could be some around for the morning commute time with some patchy fog. Tomorrow, 70s for your highs. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Take the umbrellas. You may want to allow yourself some extra time to get to your destination because of the possibility of some rain across our region. Here's a look at your pinpoint 7-day forecast, and you can see temperatures in the 70s through Saturday. A front is expected to make it through and bring temperatures down a little bit, but no real cold air in sight. Looks like winter is still taking a break. Groundhog Day is on Thursday, and really, I guess at this point it doesn't matter what he says up there because we're still staying warm.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Carl.
Coming next, a cancer survivor shares his incredible story.
He literally lost his stomach to the disease, and he's a chef. Now he's teaching other cancer survivors in similar situations how to eat healthy.
And a warning for diabetics as researchers find a very strong link between the disease and kidney problems. A look at how to reduce your risk still ahead.
This Pinpoint Weather Forecast is sponsored by the law offices of Ed Womack.
When I got into a car wreck, the insurance company was giving me the runaround. So I put the Womack on them.
No one wants to pay. Someone has to make them. For a free consultation, call me, Attorney Edward Womack, at 486-9999.
Davy Shoring is the most trusted name in home elevation.
And with thousands of homes lifted, Davy Shoring is nationally recognized for its superior Permalock technology.
Call us about our transferable lifetime guarantee.
Let the friendly staff of Simmons Income Tax and Business Services prepare this year's tax return for you. Simmons Income Tax and Business Services are always fast, accurate, and convenient. Call today at 504-324-8359.
For nearly 50 years, the Chevy Camaro's been one of the defining symbols of American ingenuity. From its iconic design to its unbridled power and pulse racing speed, nothing captures the American spirit more than the Chevy Camaro, the best-selling sports car in America. See it up close at your Super Chevy dealers and buy yours just $23,530. $23,530. Plus, get a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at your Super Chevy dealers.
Now at Sonic, premium beef hot dogs. Try the chili cheese coney, the All-American, the New York, or the Chicago. Or if you're from Akron, which is between New York and Chicago, you'll probably try the New York dog. No, wait, Chicago dog. No, sorry, the New York dog. Because you'll be all, I do love sauerkraut. But then you'll be all, I don't know, a pickle on a hot dog? Awesome. And finally, you'll just get both. Because in a battle of condiments, it's kind of inappropriate for you to take sides.
Just $1.99 each. Hot dogs, made with 100% pure beef. Now at Sonic.
Now that I have Assurance, I can call our doctor. With Assurance Wireless, you get a free cell phone plus 250 free voice minutes each month.
Now that we have Assurance, we can keep in touch with our grandchildren.
You also get nationwide coverage and these calling features with no annual contract. Plus, it's easy to keep your current number.
To see if you qualify, call 1-800-378-7318. That's 1-800-378-7318. Or visit AssuranceWireless.com.
Louisiana Powerball jackpot $170 million Wednesday.
The Insider's up next
On My 54.
Choose Davy Shoring for elevation and get the confidence that comes with our patented Permalock system and a lifetime warranty, guaranteed.
And with thousands of homes lifted, Davy Shoring is nationally recognized for its superior Permalock technology.
Call Davy Shoring now.
Food is his passion and his life.
But one chef doesn't get to enjoy his food as much because he doesn't have a stomach.
He lost it following cancer complications. Now, as Dr. Sanjay Gupta tells us, he's using his experiences to help fellow survivors find healthy food options.
Hans Rufert is a chef without a stomach or much of an esophagus.
I've had 11 surgeries in the last 6 years.
You see, Rufert was diagnosed with gastric cancer just weeks after appearing in the 2005 season of The Next Food Network Star.
There was a tumor sitting right at the junction of the stomach and the esophagus.
His treatment was painful. Rufert had half his stomach and most of his esophagus removed immediately after his diagnosis. And then there were more operations, chemo, radiation. but eventually he was cancer-free. That's when the headaches began.
They saw 10 to 12 lesions and was told, this is it. You got, you're on your way out.
It wasn't cancer, but it was a serious brain infection caused by his newly constructed digestive system.
I ended up springing a leak at that junction where the esophagus and stomach were connected, and that leak actually almost killed me.
Antibiotics got rid of the infection, but a year later, a second one, worse than the first. Both infections were so serious that doctors didn't want to risk him getting yet another one. So in March, the rest of Rupert's stomach was removed. Even though his stomach is gone, he eats 6 healthy small meals every day, which now go directly into his intestines.
The expression, you are what you eat, is so, it's cliche as can be, and it's cliche because it's true. And for me, that really is amplified.
He wrote a cookbook while in the hospital after his first operation. And for the last 5 years, he's been teaching fellow survivors how to incorporate healthy, cancer-fighting foods into their diets.
It's power and it's energy, and it's energy that our bodies can readily assimilate, even for a guy without a stomach.
Rupert says the 6 years have been difficult, but being open about his cancer and surrounding himself with family and friends has helped him overcome every challenge so far.
Somehow you just kind of find a little more strength just to keep going. And here we are. I just had my 6-year checkup, and we're 6 years cancer-free.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, reporting.
Amazing story. A new study out of San Antonio confirms that diabetes can increase the risk of developing kidney cancer, and the connection is stronger than expected. Scientists at the University of Texas Health Science Center were expecting 7 or 8% of kidney cancer patients would also be diabetic, but they found the number closer to 25%. They believe people who don't control their diabetes could be creating changes at the DNA level that triggers kidney cancer.
All right, on a lighter note, dozens of water skiers recently set out to set a new record.
Still ahead, a look at how many skiers this boat managed to pull for more than a mile, and will they make the Guinness Book of World Records?
I'm not sure that's the way we should go.
What would you call an ordinary breakfast pastry?
The Royal Comedy Tour is back with some more.
The new grandmother is 35 years old. Smoking blunts in the parking lot talking about, hey, baby.
Bruce. Our folder came over there yesterday. What is supposed to came? Earthquake, plus Mark Curry. March 10th in the Lakefront Arena. Tickets on sale now. Go online to RoyalComedyTour.com.
If you're struggling in this tough economy but need a car, WUPL wants you to know there is a way. Call 1-800-START-OVER or go to WUPL-TV.com. Click on 1-800-START-OVER and fill out a simple application. Make the call and drive today.
You're looking at what could be a new water skiing world record.
Wow, check it out. 145 people all water skiing at once behind that same boat. They had to stay on their skis for a full nautical mile, and all but 9 managed to avoid falling. So the Guinness Book of World Records is now certifying the results. It looks like the group still beat the previous record of 114 people skiing at once. That's quite a sight.
That's got to be a powerful boat to carry all those, pull all those people. That's our news at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.
See you again at 10 on Channel 4 for Jim's final commentary.
Channel 4 is part of BELO, listed on the New York Stock Exchange as PLC.
Is to me